Hello. First of all, welcome to everybody. Greenland continues to be the center of serious situation. A situation that we have never wished to be in. We feel the massive pressure on our country and also on our partners and friends in the EU. The support from the Nordic countries, Denmark, EU friends and allies is absolutely crucial in the current situation. We are strongly aware that this support requires a lot from our friends and allies. We deeply appreciate it. We also recognize that standing up for international law and fundamental principles of democracy in this situation is not only crucial for Greenland, but also upholding the integrity of the Western Alliance. Our goal and wish is to continue a peaceful dialogue based on cooperation, with respect for our constitutional position, international law, the right to our country, and the right to self-determination. US political level representatives have met with our foreign ministers. They have agreed to initiate discussions in a high-level working group that will work towards finding solutions to the US interest in Greenland without compromising the integrity of the territory of the Kingdom of Denmark, our integrity and our right to self-determination. Greenland continues to take the security situation in the Arctic seriously. We have always been and remain dedicated to the NATO alliance as we seek to strengthen the security in the Arctic through important initiatives, including a more permanent NATO mission in Greenland and increased military presence and exercise activities. I believe that everyone who has set foot here in Greenland already know where we stand in this situation. But I will say it again just to be clear. Greenland chooses the Greenland we know today as part of the Kingdom of Denmark. We have developed our society, democracy, and country for many years under the framework of the Kingdom of Denmark and the NATO alliance. We have obtained self-rule, our right to self-determination within the framework. It must continue. You have all seen the demonstration here in Nuuk last Saturday against USA. It is not a demonstration against our long-lasting friendship or close cooperation. It is against disrespect for international rule of law, democracy, and our right to self-determination. One cannot question the voice of the people. To summarize, we choose the Kingdom of Denmark. We choose the EU. We choose NATO. This is not only a situation for Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark. It's about the world order for all of us. To conclude, we Greenlanders are peaceful people, which also reflects our approach to the world around us, even though the world around us is very uncertain. We have and will continue to seek respectful dialogue through diplomacy and normal channels. Thank you. And now it's time for questions. First, CNN.
Thank you very much. Nick Robertson from CNN. Is Greenland safe now from the threat of US ownership? If not, why not? And does Donald Trump, the United States, get anything more out of this agreement than he already had? And what are the details of that agreement?
Thank you for the question. First of all, nobody else than Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark have the mandate to make deals or agreements about Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark without us. That's not going to happen. In terms of the deal there's been talking about, I don't know what's concrete in that deal either. But I know that we have now a high-level working group working on a solution for both parties. We have said from the beginning in Greenland, we have some red lines. We cannot cross the red lines. We have to respect our territorial integrity. We have to respect international law, sovereignty. We are ready to cooperate more in economics, in other areas, but that's something we have to talk about in mutual respect. In terms of wanting to own Greenland, your first question, until yesterday we couldn't rule out anything. As I hear it, the will to have Greenland, to own Greenland, was still a part of the rhetoric yesterday. But as I said, respectful dialogue through the right channels is what we have been seeking from the get-go, and I also feel that's the intention now from the other parties, and I'm happy for that. Thank you. AFP.
Thank you, Pierre Day from AFP. Regarding the discussions yesterday between Trump and Rutte, to which extent were you kept in the loop at all, if at all?
As I understand, the discussions between the President and Rutte yesterday was about the common goal, the thing we actually agree on. We have to do more on security in our area, in the Arctic area. We have had representatives from Greenland and the Danish government talking to Mark Rutte just a couple of days ago. And the impression I have is that what we said there, that we have some clear red lines, was been delivered to the President, and nothing about a deal on mineral resources or anything else. But that's something, the further discussions that we are willing to take and welcome, a dialogue in a working group, high-level working group. That's what that will show. Thank you. Then Financial Times.
There's been some discussion about the US potentially trying to seek sovereignty over small pockets of Greenland, for example at Pituffik. Is that something that you guys would consider, or is this a case of not 1 inch of Greenlandic land?
Yeah. As I said, we are ready to discuss a lot of things, and we are ready to negotiate a better partnership and so on, but sovereignty is a red line. Our integrity and our borders and international law is definitely a red line that we don't want anyone to cross, and I don't think that is strange at all. But a great partnership, a strong partnership, mutual respect, and in the frame we already have, both in NATO and in the defense agreement with the United States and the Kingdom of Denmark, we are able to do a lot more. So let's discuss that in a respectful way, and I think our partnership can be much stronger. Al Jazeera.
Thank you, Jonah Hull from Al Jazeera. As this crisis appears to recede, you will also be getting ready on some level to welcome more United States personnel and citizens to Greenland, whether they're in the form of military, mining, contractors, tourism, I believe, is up. I wonder if you could just elaborate a little bit on the relationship between Greenland and the United States moving forward. How shaken is that relationship? Will US citizens be welcomed to Greenland in the future?
First of all, what we have said from the beginning is we want a respectful and peaceful relationship and a strong partnership as an ally, trusted ally through many, many years. But no doubt, the rhetoric we have heard the last year is unacceptable for us. It is. Talking about acquiring Greenland and so on, that's of course unacceptable. And that will make something in the way of thinking of each other. But as I said also, we still in Greenland hope for and work for to get a good dialogue ongoing so we can have a partnership in mutual respect. With respect for the red lines we already have drawn, then I think we can have a good relationship afterwards. But of course it's also difficult when you every night hear threats about acquiring and taking. Until yesterday we couldn't rule out anything. Try to imagine how it is as Greenlanders, as people here, peaceful people in Greenland, to hear and see in the media every day that somebody wants to take your freedom. That's, of course, that will make the Greenlandic people think otherwise, right? But the government of Greenland and the Greenlandic people are still seeking a respectful and reliable partnership. We are a trusted ally, have been for many years. The Kingdom of Denmark and the United States stood side by side for many years, also in tough times, and that's what we need to bring back. And as I also stated in my first statements, this is not only about us. This is actually about something much bigger. It's about the world order, the principle we have built the world on, the Western Alliance on, that have kept the world safe for many, many years. That's nothing to gamble on. And that's what we are trying to state, and we are ready to do it through democracy, diplomacy, and through the right channels. Reuters.
Thanks very much for taking my question. The Americans have also showed interest in Greenland's natural resources, minerals. Do you envision that as being part of a deal being struck with the Americans, and would you be willing to give the Americans preferred access to your critical minerals? Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, again, I don't know what's in that deal. I think the discussion that we actually welcome in a future working group will address that. But in terms of cooperation with our resources, we know we have huge potential, and we have said from the beginning, let's have respectful conversations and talk about how we can strengthen the partnership also in terms of our mineral resources. No doubt in Greenland, if you want to exploit, you of course have to respect our legislation and our very high environmental standards, because that's a part of us, that's a part of our culture. But let's talk about it. If you just say you want something without talking about it using diplomacy and in a respectful manner, is of course it will be a tense partnership. But we are ready to talk. We are ready to discuss anything in mutual respect. And then we have some TVE Spain. Is that right? Yep.
Well, thank you for taking the question. TVE Televisión Española, my name is Diego Arizpeleta. My question is, do you believe 100% the words by Mr. Trump that he's not going to take over Greenland by force? Thank you.
Of course we have to believe what he says. Look, what I want to believe in is the frame of that made peace in the world for many, many, many years after some horrible times. What we want to believe is we are a close and beloved ally of the Western Alliance. And that's also what we have to believe. This is, as I said, this is about world order. This is about international law. This is about respecting territorial integrity. I believe that the world will not take that turn so drastically. I have to believe that, and I believe the Western Alliance, in a good partnership, can grow to be better, also for the Greenlandic people and the Kingdom of Denmark. Politico. It's not here. NHK.
Thank you. Emma Burrows from the Associated Press. There have been a lot of big statements, but I'm interested to know what information you have concretely that the Americans have raised specifically about what they want from Greenland in terms of bases and minerals. And are you concerned that this situation may actually go on until Trump leaves the White House?
What I want to say is that as I said, I don't know what there is in the agreement or the deal about my country that over some discussions I didn't attend. I don't know what concrete in it. What I'm saying is that we have a high-level working group that will sort things out. And I also said that Mark Rutte and his discussion with Trump, what we know is that he delivered the message that we actually have delivered a couple of days ago with our representative from the government of Greenland, Vivian Mosved. We are willing to do more in a NATO frame. We are ready to also have a concrete NATO mission in Greenland to cooperate. And that's where we stand. Thank you.
Mr. Prime Minister, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
You need a microphone.
Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News. Mr. Prime Minister, would you welcome an increased presence of U.S. forces here in Greenland? Do you want to see the Golden Dome missile defense shield deployed here?
I want a respectful and good dialogue where we can discuss that kind of things. We already have a defense agreement with the United States through the Kingdom of Denmark. We are part of the NATO framework. We are willing to discuss and do more. We have a responsibility. So let's talk about it through the right channels in a respectful manner. Then I'm sure we can work something out that benefits all of us.
Jens Holfer, tak. How do you view the fact that President Trump is no longer talking about taking over America? It is no longer coming with threats. Do you view that as a concession on his part?
I mean, I'm glad and I'm happy that he stated what he did yesterday. And I'm also glad that we have a high-level working group that can sort things out and we can find out concretely what the interests of the U.S. are. As I said before, if we cannot have a dialogue through the right channels, it's difficult for me to see what it actually is about, other than when we see the media and wake up overnight where something has been said, right? I can take one last question.
Is for their support. Are you expecting more troops and support from France and European friends?
Thank you. Yeah, I am really happy for the support the Greenlandic people, Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark have had this last year. It is strange times, and we are also happy that, of the presence, military presence, and our friends, allies that contributes to that through in the frame of Arctic resilience in the frame of NATO. We are ready to discuss more. We are also ready to do more and do it more permanently in Greenland. So we are very happy for the support. We don't expect more now, but we will talk about it, and we are ready to do it more permanently. Actually also a permanent mission in Greenland that can coordinate, because one thing we all agree on, the security of the Arctic and our region is important. That's something everybody agrees on. Let's talk about how we then do it better. And if you want a good security in the Arctic, you also know how to handle that and how to do that, and that's why the exercises are important. But thank you so much for all for being here today.
Was that a yes on Golden Dome, Mr. Prime Minister?
I said we are ready to discuss things in a working group. We are ready to discuss things in mutual respect. Let's start there, and then we can see. Thank you.